Today, we're going to talk about, in the Healing Technique series, about overcoming fear. Let's start by understanding fear. And so today in this session, we're going to learn some simple and helpful techniques that we can practice daily to overcome fear and negativity from our being, to heal ourselves from the damage caused by fear to our body, mind, and emotions. We're also going to learn how to elevate our spirits to much higher levels, where we can establish a constant state of freedom from all fear. And fourth, we're going to seek to anchor ourselves in a positive state of being with the ability to repel the emotions and negative energies of fear whenever they emerge. So these are going to be our 4 goals for learning these techniques. So let's start by exploring fear, because it's a word that we all know about, and fear has many dimensions, needless to say. So as we always do, let's look at what the published definitions and what the published wisdom is on fear. And here are some. One is that fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Fear is a natural, powerful, and primitive emotion. So natural, powerful, and primitive emotion. Fear alerts us to the presence of danger or threat of harm, whether that danger is of a physical or a psychological nature. Sometimes fear stems from real threats, but it can also originate from imagined dangers as well. And there are 3 types of fears. And this was a very nice encapsulation which I found, which I thought we could work with. The first one is primal fear. Now, this is a fear which is programmed into each one of us through the process of evolution. So as our ancestors lived in forests and in very dangerous environment and faced all these various threats, some of these threats got programmed into our being, into our genetics. So for example, fear of snakes. Now, they used to get bitten by snakes, and therefore they were very wary of snakes, but that fear of snakes is kind of been programmed in a lot of us. So like that, there are so many elements of survival and protection that are programmed into primal fear, which come from the process of evolution. So this we have to accept and work with, and it's fine. The second type of fear is what is called rational fear. Now, this is a logical type of fear that does make sense. So for example, if someone's standing in front of you brandishing a knife, you will feel that fear because that is there to trigger an action on your part to protect yourself. So that's a rational fear. That's a fear we can all understand. Then there is the next part, which is irrational fear. And these fears do not make logical sense. They exist in one half of the brain, and the other side of our brain doesn't understand why. So for example, fear of ghosts or the unseen, or fear of clowns. These are irrational fears. Fear can also be a symptom of mental health issues, including, for example, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, or phobias. Now, what is a phobia? A phobia is a fear of a fear. So let's say, for example, you fear spiders. So spiders make you afraid. A phobia of spiders is where you fear being afraid of spiders. So phobia is actually a very nasty form of fear, because the fear of being afraid of something and then actually being afraid is a multiplied effect. Now, a lot of times we make fun of people with phobias, but I tell you what, they are living a nightmare scenario, because most of us face fear at the 1st degree. These poor people are facing it at the 2nd and the 3rd degree. So when people have a phobia, please, let's not joke about it with them, because the one who has it is living a nightmare scenario. And we should do everything to help them rather than make fun of them. I know as I was growing up, a lot of times as children, and I see it today too, someone is suffering from a phobia and everybody makes fun of it and keeps pressing that button. This is the worst thing we can do to anyone with a phobia. So approaching someone with a phobia from a compassionate, understanding position is the best way for us, which is why I kind of want to zero in on this in terms of our response to the fear of others. Now, phobias are an irrational type of fear. Then there is post-traumatic stress disorder as well, which after a certain trauma, certain deep fears remain within us and they don't make sense. They're irrational, but because of the traumatic stress, they've now found their way in us. And then they are playing out in our lives, usually causing us a lot of difficulty and challenge, not just us, but all the loved ones around us. Now, this is what the published literature talks about. And then, I looked at, well, what are the typical symptoms of fear? And now fear often involves physical and emotional symptoms. And each person may experience fear differently. But some of the common signs include chest pain, chills, dry mouth, nausea, rapid heartbeat, shortness of breath, sweating, trembling, upset stomach. In addition to the physical symptoms of fear, people may experience psychological symptoms of being overwhelmed, of being upset, feeling out of control, or even a sense of impending death. So fear, the symptoms of fear are actually quite broad, but they are also quite harsh on those who embody fear, which is why it's so important that we learn how to transcend fear, get rid of fear from our own beings, and help others do the same, which is what makes today's class very, very important. Now, how best can we cope with fear? So the published literature talks about managing the physical, emotional, and behavioral effects of fear. And some of the suggestions include getting support from friends and loved ones around you who can help you manage your fears. So your compassionate friends who can help you gain their support. And that's one way. The other is to practice mindfulness. So when you can not always prevent certain emotions, but when they crop up, you manage them and you replaces negative thoughts with more helpful thoughts. So mindfulness is one way. Using stress management techniques is another way, such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, visualization. And finally, what they also recommend is taking care of your health, eat well, get regular exercise, get adequate sleep each night, and all that. Now, this is the public domain information, and which gives us a good start, a good feel for different aspects of fear. Now let us go down today to a deeper level of addressing and overcoming fear. And as we appreciate from the published literature, the three types of fear are primal fear, rational fear, and irrational fear. Now we can accept that primal fear is programmed within us at the time of during the process of our evolution, which is fine. We can also accept that rational fear is a useful tool to protect ourselves. So both these types of fear we can work with at a practical level. However, when it comes to irrational fear, I believe one of the very fundamental and important irrational fears that makes a big impact, negative impact in our lives is our inability to embrace the unknown. Fear that comes from our inability to embrace the unknown. And this is a very important fundamental fear that we have to work to get out of us. Now, this is a fear that we all have, and it can derail our lives in significant ways. Therefore, it deserves a closer look today, and therefore, let's work with techniques to transcend this fear. Now, when you think about it, the logical truth about life is that every second ahead of us is an unknown, which none of us can control. Yet knowing this, which is a fact, but yet knowing this, The fear of the unknown lives within us. And it's a constant reality in our lives. The unknown is a constant reality in our lives 24/7. But so is the fear of the unknown. This is why I place the fear of the unknown in the category of an irrational fear, because you know that you don't control anything. You know the next moment is an unknown, but yet you fear it. So that's what makes it an irrational fear. And this irrational fear is very present in our lives. And my dear friends, this type of core or fundamental fear is not real. It is an illusion of something that may or may not happen in the future. This fear lives in the future, but it robs us of the present because it constantly leaves us feeling vulnerable and unsafe. Now, how can we overcome this fear and heal ourselves from it? The key word lies in the word trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your higher self, your source, your creator. There's ample evidence in your life that shows why it is okay to trust in the greater dimension of yourself. I've shared this example with you so many times that the day you were born, you did not know where your first bottle of milk was coming from. All you could do was cry. You could barely communicate, but the bottle came. To this day, nothing has changed. The bottle comes to each one of us in different forms, but we've just learned to worry about it. So, how did each one of us get this far in life, having lived with the unknown constantly and survived all its odds? Ask yourself, how did I make it this far? I mean, what kept us safe from the billions of things that could have gone wrong? What led us through life where most of our fears never even materialized? How come? I mean, I remember Karima and I were traveling, I think it was a few years ago, and we were at a station, we got to a train station in a European city, which is very, very unsafe, because in a previous trip, someone had even tried to steal Karima's handbag. And fortunately, we managed to retrieve it. But here we are at the station. There's a car that has come to pick us up to take us to the airport because we were going to catch a flight to Dubai. So in my wheel-on, I had a pouch with all our documents, passports and everything. And for some reason, when we were looking for the driver and I kind of went around to try and find him, I forgot that wheel-on right there at the exit in the hallway. And we followed the driver, we got to the car, and then Karima asked me, where's the wheel-on? I go, oh my God, I've left it in that open exit. And, this is an absolute disaster because now we're going to lose our documents and everything. So I rushed back in a panic, and it was the most welcome sight for me. 10 minutes later, that wheel-on was still exactly where I left it. It's unimaginable in that place because there's so much robbery going on out there. Daylight. Here, my case was safe. And then this idea came into my head. What if it was gone? We couldn't have traveled. We'd have lost our passports. There was information, documents that could be used to steal from our banks or whatever. And I started running all these scenarios of how so many things can go wrong in our lives. And then I asked myself, this is one event, but how many other possibilities are there out there where everything could have gone wrong for me, but it didn't? Like here, this was guaranteed to go wrong for me, but it didn't. So how many such mishaps have I missed without even knowing it? Countless, millions. We all have. All these nasty things that could happen to us, most of them don't. Why? It's because we have a greater force driving us, nurturing us, taking care of us. And this is why trusting in that process, trusting in that force, whether it's from a religious perspective or a scientific perspective or a universal, that's a key to overcoming fear. I mean, if you make a list, my dear friends, of everything that can go wrong in your life in the next moments, it could be a mile long, but you also know that 99.9% of these things are not going to happen. Why are they not going to happen? What is preventing them? If all we were living a material life of statistical coincidences, believe me, none of us would be here today. But there is that nurturing force that is caring for us and driving us through our life's journey, learning, growing. It's with us all the time. Why don't we trust it? Why are we buried in fear? I mean, yes, you faced, challenges and experiences. All of us have. But none of that has destroyed us. My dear friends, you are still here when all the odds would have said you shouldn't be here. All the odds would have said I shouldn't be here. So why not eliminate fear by embracing the unknown? If we embrace the unknown, we become fearless. And embrace the fact that you do not know what will happen in the next moment. Do your best in the present moment to foster the future you wish for, in the absence of fear. And trust fully in that power or force I just talked about, whatever you call it, from a religious or universal perspective. Trust fully in that beautiful power that has carried you safely to this point in your life for us to be here today. Because really, with all the things that can go wrong, none of us should be here. Then when we are filled with fear, my dear friends, it's a very lonely place to be, where the mind scares us with all kinds of terrifying scenarios, most of which are pure nonsense. But yet these scenarios appear so real to us, leaving us terrified and unable to do anything logical or useful. This is where, if you think of the words, I am not alone, the origin is with me. And you can use whatever name for the origin you wish. For example, from God to Allah, to Krishna, Father, universe, nature, light, whatever name you use. But that thought alone, that I'm not alone, the origin or my creator or God is with me. And if you use the word God, for example, let's pick that as an example, and repeat in your mind, I am not alone, God is with me. You will feel a great sense of relief because you have filled that lonely void that fear occupies. So just close your eyes for a moment. Breathe freely and repeat to yourself slowly, I am not alone. God is with me. I am not alone. God is with me. I am not alone. God is with me. You may open your eyes. You feel that sense of relief. And that calmness and relief comes from this very powerful thought that you are not alone. And yes, we are not alone. Yes, there is that beautiful force that has brought us here against all odds. So we're not alone. So why don't we bring that thought of the Creator, the origin, the universe, into every present moment of ours and place trust. And that relief that you feel when you repeat those words is the power of trust. That relief you feel is the power of trust. And trust kills fear because it anchors you in the present moment in a manner that fully embraces the unknown. That trust fills the void in you that fear is currently occupying. And when fear occupies that void, you are seeing all kinds of horrible scenarios that are terrifying you of what can happen. Just about none of it does happen. Fill that void. Get rid of fear. Put trust in there. I'm not alone. The origin is with me. And you can go through the most scary places. With that thought, you will not be afraid. You will see things with clarity and you will be unstoppable. So let's talk about embracing the unknown and placing our trust in the higher dimension of ourselves, our creator, our higher self, whatever you want to call it. Let's connect with that aspect. And let's embrace life with trust, because, my dear friends, you don't need any more evidence of the truth behind this trust than the very fact that you have gotten this far without having any control over the next moment. Now, let us now learn some of the deeper techniques that can help us achieve a state of being that is courageous and fearless, and a state through which we can heal ourselves from the damage our fears have caused us thus far. Now, I propose to share tonight 3 practical techniques. First one is the Azuron technique, which involves alignment of the 6 fields, intelligence fields of the body, with a particular focus on the sensory field. The second technique will be a short meditation that we'll practice together, but a meditation you can practice daily to empower ourselves to rise above our fears and heal ourselves. And the meditation we'll practice today is a very powerful one. Actually, when it came to me as I was preparing, I was quite in awe of how impactful that meditation is. So we'll share it together. And through this meditation, we can also help others around us, friends, family, loved ones, to heal from their fears too. And then thirdly, we will learn that famous 60-second technique through which we can practice it any time of the day, through which we can dispel fear. So these are 3 techniques we're going to learn. So let's start with the first step, which is the Azuron technique of alignment. Now, I've introduced the general Azuron technique and the 6 fields in the body so many times in recent classes, so I won't repeat it again today. But for those attending for the first time, please look at the videos on the 2 most recent videos on the healing techniques, which is healing from depression, healing from anxiety, and the next one coming out will be healing from anger. But look at these 2 videos and familiarize yourself with the 6 fields and the alignment of the 6 fields. So for today, though, we will focus on the sensory field, and this whole technique, the Azuron technique, relies on drawing upon the power of enlightened thought. Now, we have all learned, we did 10 master classes on the superconsciousness, and we learned that 85% of our true mental capacity lies in our superconsciousness. In the material plane, we only use a maximum of 15% of our capacity. So today, and in this technique, we're going to draw from the superconsciousness the power of enlightened thought, bring it to this material plane, the 15%, and help ourselves overcome fear, dispel fear, and heal from fear. So, a principal tool, and please do view the 10 videos on the superconsciousness if you haven't participated in it. And if you want to refresh your memories, there's a great 10 videos to look at. Now, a principal tool to work with for us is thought, its energy, and quality. Thought, its energy, and quality. Because in the end, thought is one of the major roots of fear, which even impacts our body chemistry, adrenaline, our whole body is impacted by thought, physically and chemically, biologically, psychologically. And if we want to help or heal or keep fear out of our beings, we need to work with this power of higher thought. And this thought, which comes from the superconsciousness, think of it as a thought that originates from the level of the soul, the level of the life energy, which is highly intelligent, which keeps us all alive. It's that intelligence which one day when we drop this body and that intelligence is no longer present, we're no longer living. So we're going to draw from that very, very high level. And how are we going to do this? So let's come to the sensory field. And the sensory field, as you're all aware, resides between the center of the forehead in this niche and the base of the chin in this niche. These are two hollows, and the sensory field resides in this area. Now, the sensory field houses our eyes, through which we have the sense of sight, so we can see everything, our ears, so through which we can hear, our nose, through which we can breathe and also smell, our tongue, through which we can taste our food, water, and everything else, our skin, with all its senses, through which we can sense touch, and our mind, which takes the outputs of the five senses of sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, and integrates it to give us the human experience. So the mind is the sixth sense. Now let us summarize the sensory field with this very simple illustration. This is the sensory field. Now we talked about the six energy fields. So this is the light field. This is the sensory field. So the light field starts from the universe and connects with the body. Then there is the sensory field, which is between these two niches. Then at the base of your neck, you have a third niche, which is the field of air, which governs the flow of oxygen, respiration, discharge of toxins. Then you come to the field of flow, which is your heart and all the flow of fluids in your body. Then you come to the cleansing field here, which has our intestines, liver, all the cleansing organs. And finally, that's the earth. So these are the six fields that we align: earth, cleansing, flow, air, sensory, and light. Now in the sensory field, you've got sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch, mind. These are the six senses. And from there drops down our awareness of everything, which is our human experience, our memory. So the experiences find their way into our memory as well as our thoughts and emotions. And this flows to all the other fields: air, flow, cleansing, and earth. So this is the sensory field, and we're going to work with that today. The healing alignment of today that we're going to learn for fear has 7 very simple steps. The first step, we will open the light field. Okay, we'll open the light field. So we're going to draw light from the universe to our center of our forehead, to our body. Next, we will open the sensory field, and we will align the sensory field with peace. So you'll have light and peace. And then we will release and cleanse all fear and negative energy from our being through our sensory field. So that powerful thought of cleansing and removing all fear comes here, which then goes from the mind to the rest of the body, impacting the biochemistry and everything in a positive way. Then we will fill our being with courage. So this sensory field will be filled with courage. Then we will fill our being with trust in our Creator or Source. And then we heal all our 6 senses and finally fill our whole being with light. So that's the alignment. Then when you practice it, you'll be able to finish in 6 to 7 minutes on your own. But let's practice it together. So let us start by opening our light and sensory field. Now, I've taught you this technique before to be used as a daily reset button, because once you open the light and sensory field, you're living you're living in a higher state, and your thoughts tend to be of a more enlightened nature. So this is a great daily technique to practice. It only takes a minute. But let me recap for you for a moment how to open the light and sensory field. So, as I mentioned to you, center of your forehead, and this is the universe, and your light, your life force, your life energy is flowing to your body from here. So this is the light field. So with our two of our hands, we start with both our hands together at the top, and we draw light, and we repeat the word light. Then our hands go to the side of this conical pyramid, light, and then back to light. And I've explained before that this conical pyramid or inverted vortex is the shape of each field because it goes to the smallest of the small and yet never ends, and largest of the large and yet never ends. So we will do light, light, light. Okay? Then we will come to the sensory field, and we're going to go peace, peace, peace. And we'll do that 3 times. So we'll do light 3 times, peace 3 times, and then we will take our hands to the top of the light field and do a full being with light and light, all our being. So all the 6 fields will be filled with light, because remember that this outer field is in fact your light field going all the way to the earth. Okay? So this is the starting point. So let's start with placing our hands to the highest level we can and draw light, 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 light. So we've drawn light to the center of our forehead, and from that enlightened state we go into the sensory field with peace, 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 peace. And then with our pause for a minute with our eyes closed, and we keep repeating peace, 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 and we draw peace from the light. And after a few moments of focusing on peace, we then do the full body. We start from the top, from the universe, and we go light, 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 and you spread light into your entire being. So now, let's do it together with our eyes closed, okay? Let's start from the top, from the universe, we go light, 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 light. And then we go peace, 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 peace. And then with our hands together, we just keep repeating the word peace. Peace, peace. And then we go back into the universe and we draw light for our entire being. We go light, light, light. And our whole being is filled with light. You can open your eyes. So this is a great technique to open your light field, to fill your sensory field with peace, and then you go and have a great day, fully enlightened. So that's opening the light field. Please do it every day. Now we come to the alignment for overcoming fear. So we did the first two. We did light and we did peace. So now let me demonstrate the 7 steps. So we're going to start with, from the universe, light, 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 light. And we will do that 3 times. And then peace, 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 peace. We'll do that 3 times and we will pause for peace. Then we will come back to the sensory field and go cleanse all fear. Cleanse, 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 cleanse. And we'll do that 3 times. And then we will draw courage. So we'll start with courage, 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 courage. And then we'll pause to focus on the word courage and draw courage from the light. Then we will go back to the top of the sensory field and we're going to go with trust and trust in our Creator. So trust, 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 trust. And we'll do that 3 times and then we'll pause and repeat in our minds, trust in the origin, the Creator, Allah, universe. So just whatever you believe, you repeat that, trust in the Creator. And then, once we've done that, then we finish with healing all our body and senses. So we come back to the top of the sensory field and we go heal, 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 heal. And then we pause to focus on the word heal. And the 7th, the last step, is again to fill our being with light. So we go into the universe and we go light, light, light. And that's the full alignment. Okay, so 7 steps. Now you close your eyes and let's do it together, the whole thing. Okay, and then you can do it on your own every day at home, first thing in the morning. So close your eyes, breathe freely, place your hands high up in the universe, and you draw light and open the light field by going light, 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 light. Peace, 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 peace. And then we put our hands together and we pause and repeat in our minds, peace, peace, peace. Peace. And then we go back to the center of our forehead and we repeat, cleanse all fear. Cleanse, 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 cleanse. And then we pause for a moment and keep repeating the words, cleanse, cleanse. Cleanse. Then we go back to the center of our forehead and we draw courage. So we go courage, 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 And we pause and keep repeating courage, 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 and draw all the courage from the light. Courage. Courage. And then we go back to the center of our forehead and we draw trust in the origin. Trust, 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 trust. And we pause and we repeat in our minds, trust in the Creator. Whatever name you choose, trust in the origin. Trust, trust, trust. And then we come back to the sensory field, to the top of our forehead, and we seek healing from the light. So we go heal, 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 heal. And we pause to repeat the word heal, heal. Heal, heal. And then we go back to the top and take light from the universe, and for our entire being we go light, 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 light. And pause and keep repeating light. And you can open your eyes. So this is a beautiful technique, very empowering. 7 steps to overcome, eliminate, and heal from fear. Practice it every day. If you have fear within you, you want to completely get full power over it, then practice this alignment, because you'll start with light, you'll open your light field and you'll draw light. And your life force comes completely alive in all your mind, in your thoughts, in all your cells. Then you align and open the sensory field with peace, so your being is completely at peace. Then you release and cleanse all fear. So that frees you. There's a sense of freedom that comes from that. And then you draw courage from the light and you become courageous. Your state of mind is one of pure courage. You're unshakable. And the most powerful part of the next is the next part, which is trust in the Creator. Because when you invoke that trust, that power of trust comes to you. Remember when you just repeated, I am not alone, God is with me, you felt a relief. Now you're filling your entire being with that power of trust. So that void in every present moment, which is currently occupied by fear, is gone. It's now trust. You're anchored. And then you do heal. So you heal your entire being from all the damage of fear has done. And finally, you fill your being with light. It's a beautiful 7 steps to truly empower yourself and place yourself above fear. And with that courage and that trust, we are unstoppable. And remember, we don't control what's in the next moment, but we embrace it. We embrace the unknown with trust. Then every moment is a pleasure. because we're not wasted time in fear. We are living every moment. We are cherishing every moment. We are in that power of the moment, not wasting an ounce of ourselves in fear and the nonsense scenarios that come from fear. Now, having done that, boy, I feel so relaxed. Let's now go to the meditation, which is also very beautiful. And let's first start with the preparation step. And the first thing we always do is take a moment and choose the name you're going to use for your creator, for your source, whether it be creator, origin, source, Allah, God, Krishna, Father, Christ, whatever it is. Take a moment and choose that word. Now, this whole meditation is completely universal. So it's very important that you truly believe in that name that you have chosen, because the power of that enlightened thought that we're going to draw in meditation is going to reverberate from that name. So choose the name. Okay? Now, let's sit back, close our eyes, and breathe freely. Let go of all your tensions, worries, concerns. Let it all go. Be at complete peace. Breathe freely. And I'd like you to imagine you're standing on top of this beautiful mountain. And this mountain is surrounded by other mountains and peaks. There's trees. There's birds in the blue sky. You're in the morning sun. The rays of the morning sun are causing the dewdrops on the grass to sparkle. In front of you is a beautiful crystal clear lake, also sparkling in the morning sun. Take a moment and connect with this beautiful nature. And then you start walking into the lake, and you reach, when the water reaches your knees, you look down and there's small ripples and waves, but you wish the water to go completely still. So you look at your knees, you look at the water, and you repeat, stillness, stillness, stillness. Keep repeating this word as you try to make the water go completely still, so you can see your reflection of your face like a mirror in the water. Take a few moments and repeat the word stillness. Stillness. And the water is now completely still. You can see your reflection in the water as if the water were a mirror. You can see the reflection of the blue sky and the sun. You are completely still. The water is completely still. When you look up, the whole lake is completely still. You are pure stillness. Pure stillness. And you now repeat the word silence. 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 As everything around you goes completely silent, you are completely silent. Silence. 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 You are pure stillness. You are pure silence. And you now walk further into the lake. And as you keep walking, in front of you, you see this very tall fountain. It's like a wall of water that's gushing into the sky. It's like a barrier. It's almost like you're standing in front of a Niagara Falls. And you look at this fountain, and you know you cannot keep going because this fountain could drown you. So you stand back and you look at this wall of water ahead of you. It's a barrier. And then from this wall appears a loving, luminous hand, a parental hand. It's your creator, your source, your higher self. And that hand reaches out to you. And you, the child, place your hand with full trust in your creator. You place your hand in that luminous hand and allow yourself to be guided through this big barrier in complete trust, knowing that with your creator you will always be safe. And you follow and you enter this fountain and you enter this huge wall of water like Niagara Falls. And you realize that it's not real. This water does not make you wet. It's just an illusion. It doesn't drown you. It does nothing to you. It's not real. And you hear the words in your mind, fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. That tall barrier of water was just your fear, an illusion. But you placed your trust in your higher self, in your creator, and you walked through the illusion. And this loving hand guides you into the light. And you are now in bright, warm, loving light. And you repeat in your mind, I am not alone. The origin is with me. And you can replace origin with whatever word you choose. I am not alone. The origin is with me. I am not alone. The origin is with me. Take a couple of moments and repeat these words with whatever name you have chosen for the origin. I am not alone. The origin is with me. The light of creation, the light of your higher self, your soul, fills your being completely. You are so empowered. You are so loved. You are so filled with trust in your creator. And you repeat in the presence of the light, cleanse all fear. Cleanse all fear. Cleanse all fear. As the light of creation cleanses every element of your being, getting rid of all your fear forever. Keep repeating, cleanse all fear. Cleanse all fear. As the light of your higher self of creation flows through your being, reaching every element of your being, you seek the blessing of healing healing of your body, your mind, your emotions, healing from all the damage of fear, anxiety, or whatever you have suffered from, physical, mental, emotional illnesses. As you repeat, heal in the name of the light, and you can replace the word light with the name you have chosen. Heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light, as the light of healing reaches every element of your being, healing you completely. You keep repeating the words, heal in the name of the light. Heal in the name of the light. And now it's time to head back, and you turn around and you start to walk towards the shore. There is no more fountain. There is no more wall of water. There is no more illusion or barrier of fear in front of you. You are free to walk, and you can see the shore with complete clarity. You are free to go and live your life free of fear, in complete clarity. Remember, you are real. Your creator, your soul, your higher self is real. You will enjoy your life ahead by being real, free of the illusion of fear. And as you walk towards the shore, you repeat, I am fearless. I am free. I am light. Keep repeating in your mind the words, I am fearless. I am free. I am light. I am fearless. I am free. I am light. And you're back on the grass. The sun is shining. The dewdrops are sparkling. You have broken past the illusion and barriers of fear. So you now have pure clarity. You are filled with trust, for you have seen the power of that trust. And you repeat in your mind, I am not alone. The origin is with me. Repeat this in your mind using whatever name you have chosen. I am not alone. The origin is with me. And you may now open your eyes. You have just been. You have placed your entire trust in your higher self. You have broken through the illusion of fear. That fountain was not real. Yet it was there, standing tall like a barrier, telling you you cannot come through. And yet you placed your trust, and you were guided safely through into the light, where you drew the blessing of trust, you drew the blessing of healing, and you came back fearless, free, and light. I recommend you practice this meditation every morning. First do your alignment and then the meditation, and it will place you in a truly empowered state through your day. Now, if you wish to help others who suffer from fears, think of them at the start of the meditation. Think of them, whether it be one person or more people, but just think of all of them, embrace them into your being, become one soul, and then go ahead and perform your meditation. But during the meditation, don't think about them anymore. Focus on your meditation. And then when you complete and you're back on the grass, you let them go with light and peace. Whenever you feel fearful, remember, fear is an illusion. It is an illusion of something that may or may not happen in the future. It's just an illusion. Most of the times what you fear doesn't happen. It is not real. And when you feel fearful, take a moment by yourself and go back into that point of the meditation where you're in front of this tall fountain, like a Niagara Falls, and you feel like this is an insurmountable barrier. And then that loving hand, luminous hand, comes through of your creator, of your higher self, and leads you through the illusion where you realize that that barrier, that whole Niagara Falls column of water, did not even make you wet, did not impact you at all. It was never there. It was in your mind. It was an illusion. And then this loving hand leads you into the light. Because you placed your trust, you are truly empowered. So you go into that space and then you repeat, I am not alone. The origin is with me. And then you repeat, I am fearless. I am free. I am light. Fountain has disappeared. Everything is clear. You are free. You are filled with trust and you're filled with light. And with that, you can actually use just that short segment in a couple of minutes on your own to break out of whatever fear you may be feeling. So now let us learn the third technique, which is the 60-second technique, which you have all practiced when we did anxiety and depression, and even when you see the one on anger. It's a 60-second technique where you hold your index finger and your thumb together and form this circle. And you look in this circle and you keep filling it with confidence, confidence, confidence. Keep repeating confidence, confidence. And you do it with your eyes closed, but fill that circle with pure confidence. And then finally you let go and open your hands and you release confidence to your environment, to all those around you, as well as to yourself. So you fill your being with confidence. So let's close our eyes, keep our fingers together like that, index finger and thumb, and start filling the circle with confidence, confidence, confidence. Keep repeating the word confidence as you fill the circle with pure confidence, confidence. Confidence, confidence. And the circle is so filled with confidence. And then you open your fingers and you release the confidence. And it fills your entire being. It fills your surroundings. It creates a space of pure confidence around you. Even those who are fearful around you are filled with confidence, confidence, confidence. You may open your eyes. So you can practice this short technique as many times as you like. So with that, I'd like to conclude today's class. And I pray, first of all, I would like to thank you all for being with us, for bringing all your light, your strength, your positive energy to today's meditation, to the alignment. Thank you all for being here. And I pray that you may all be blessed with lots of peace, happiness, love, and light in your lives. May you always smile from the soul. Be filled with trust in your Creator. Be fearless, be happy, and enjoy your life with pure clarity in the absence of all fear. Live with the real, for you are real. And I pray that the light of the real, your higher self, your Creator, be with you every moment of your life to love you, help you, guide you, and protect you. Stay blessed and see you again soon.